There's something powerful about being a beginner again. It's uncomfortable, it's humbling, but it's also where growth actually happens. The more you master something, the harder it gets to stay curious, and curiosity is what keeps your work alive. Mastering often dulls curiosity and comfort becomes a trap. When you master something and you're comfortable with the way that you approach a problem, for example, when you're teaching somebody something, when you've learned a new tool or a skill and you've done it the same way over and over again, and you've mastered that way of doing it, it becomes comforting to do something you're good at in the way that you're good at it. And when you can override that mastery into curiosity and the creativity of exploring things that you haven't mastered before, that's what the beginner mindset is. It's about being able to be creative, being able to be curious, and being able to step outside of your comfort zone. Because think about it, when you are just a beginner at something, you are consistently stepping outside of your comfort zone to gain that new knowledge, gain that new experience. It's a knowledge you've never had before, it's experience you've never had before, and you're stepping outside of your comfort zone in order to go from beginner to mastery. And then, so once you've done that, once you've done your beginner phase and you've gotten to mastery, sometimes if you're not conscious of it, that curiosity and that creativity can sort of slip away. So it's important once you've mastered something to keep that beginner mindset in check. I remember when I started rock climbing, it was really very it was really fun because I was learning something new every single day. When I was learning a new technique every single day, some sort of new concept that's going to allow me to like leverage my positioning or understand what muscles I should be using while I'm rock climbing. Figuring out how to make friends in the gym and what to talk about to get more. One, obviously it's good to get new friends, but also you get to learn from other people. Understanding that learning from other people is going to move you forward twice as fast was a huge part of learning rock climbing for me. And once you've done that enough and you've learned from a lot of people, you know most of the techniques in the books, you start not having enough people to learn from because you've sort of mastered it. And I remember I got to, in rock climbing, they do things by grades. I got to a grade of like V6, V7. And I didn't have a lot of friends or know a lot of people who were doing things above that. And I also wasn't exploring different techniques or different strategies. I wasn't studying what the pros were doing. I was comfortable with where I was at. And I'm still sort of in that right now where I'm not spending enough time exploring beyond that a comfort zone that I have of all the knowledge and concepts that I already know. And I think that's what's going to keep me plateaued for a while. For me, rock climbing is not the most important thing in my life right now. So I do want to get to mastering it just later in my life. And I know once I get back into that and make that more of a priority that I'm going to have to find people who are better than me and explore different topics and step outside my comfort zone and approach it with that beginner's mindset of like, okay, what can I learn? What haven't I tried yet that is going to move me forward and get me up that next step? So that's one of the reasons I think having a beginner's mindset is going to be so key to getting yourself out of plateaus when you feel stuck or when you feel like you've mastered something and you don't know where to go from there. There's always more to learn. You've never perfected any skill. You can always learn something more, and that's why the beginner's mindset is so powerful. When beginners will make bold moves that experts avoid, And that's where the innovation hides. So when you're approaching with a beginner's mindset, you can try different things in creative ways. One of the really cool things about a beginner's mindset is you can actually take concepts from other areas and other things that you've done in your life, and you can bring it into what you're doing to further master whatever skill you've already invested a lot of yourself and time into. And one of the examples that always comes up is Steve Jobs. When he was building Apple products, he also took like a calligraphy class, and his lessons that he learned from calligraphy he put into his software building for his apps when they were first coming out. And just that small concept of learning things from different areas and bringing them into what you already know, once you've mastered it, is it's really key. And I think the only place that comes from is big, bold innovations as a beginner's mindset when you're a master at something. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Being a beginner, again, doesn't mean you're behind. It means you're alive, and it means you're curious, you're hungry, and you're still willing to grow. Mastery isn't an endpoint. It's just the confidence to start again. And you can never stop learning, even if you feel like you've mastered a skill. Tell me about some skills that you've mastered. I'd love to hear in the comments, and have a great day.